Bowls Australia acknowledges the traditional owners and custodians of the land in which this stream is produced. We pay our respects to all First Nations people and acknowledge elders past and present.
Day 4 well and truly upon us at the 2024 Australian Open. Sitting here at the picturesque Broadbeach Bowls Club, it's the first time we get to see women's action on Rinkside Live, and it's women's pairs between Jamie Lee Worsnop and Dawn Hayman, the right-at-home Jackaroos, against Ange Francis and Bronwyn Stevens, both representing the Broadbeach Bowls Club and Invercargill and Dunedin back in New Zealand. Very much looking forward to this contest. Val Febo is my name, and joining me, as he did yesterday, he was so good we had to have him back. His name is Michael Hollywood Sorensen, the CSM for South East Queensland.
Morning, Val, and welcome viewers to, again, as Val said, a very picturesque Broadbeach Bowls Club on another lovely winter's day here in Queensland. Barely a cloud in the sky.
Well, it's much nicer than yesterday in the morning. This is sensational.
Warmer anyway.
Absolutely wonderful here. Of course, new format today. We're not doing singles. We have 18 ends of fours. That's what we're doing. Oh, sorry, pairs. My God. I think I'm just going to shut my mic off. Hollywood, do you want to take over the rest of the day?
No way, mate. You're doing a great job.
Well, 4 people on the grade. 18 ends of pairs, 15 ends of fours is what the other format is, but we'll get to that later on in the week. But 18 ends, and it is a 2-hour 15 time limit, of course. 3 bowl pairs. And, of course, if the match is beyond doubt with ends to go, so say if the match is over at end 15, can't mathematically come back, we still play out all 18 ends because, of course, shots up matter. Next best qualifiers, they are well and truly up for grabs. We've got 13 of them, I believe, in the women's pairs section.
It's a great format, the 3-bowl pairs.
I love it. I'm not a massive fan of 2 and walk.
Now, the 2x2x2x2 can be very draining, but the 3-bowl pairs keeps you in the action all the way. It's a good, fast, quick game, and every bowl counts.
They certainly do.
As the hooter goes to commence play.
Right on 9 a.m. local time. So 2 Jackaroos up against Ange and Bronwyn, who are both from New Zealand. And Bronwyn was telling me before, she comes here for 5 months of the year, every year, to play out of the Broadbeach Bowls Club, which I find absolutely amazing. That's how good these greens are. People will literally pick up their lives and move for 5 months to come and play on these picturesque greens. Avoid the winters at home, because I can imagine they would be freezing cold down at the bottom of New Zealand.
Yes, it isn't the most tropical part of the world.
One of the most southern countries. And
down off Invercargill, they've got a great little place called Stewart Island. I recommend it to anybody. It is definitely a bucket list destination. It is absolutely gorgeous.
So Invercargill, apparently it's a 17-hour 40 flight from the Gold Coast. That cannot be right.
No.
It's not that far away. Yeah, Stewart Island, right on the south of New Zealand. But if you look at where it's sort of situated, if you put a latitude line across Invercargill, even further south than Tasmania. One of the only Argentina and Chile go more south than what New Zealand do. So you can imagine how cold it would be, because those Argentinian and Chilean places down there, they're not very populous. So, Hollywood, the good thing is here, we've got pink versus blue bowls as well. So,
makes it easy for us, makes it easy for the viewer, and there's another great start.
Dawn and Jamie Lee. There with the blue. Jamie Lee with the Taylor SRs. Dawn with XGs. And then Ange Francis, she's got Taylor GTRs. Bronwyn Stevens Aero Optimas. So it definitely does make it easy because we had red on red in the first singles match we did on Saturday. It's nice when they look after us.
Here's a good correction. Great correction. Lovely bowl.
Hollywood, Jamie Lee's in some pretty good form herself, having been part of the Matador Fours winning competition before the Australian Open. It's a power couple team. Ben Twist, Brianna Smith, and then Aaron Wilson and Jamie Lee Worsnop.
Well, I would say that Jamie Lee is playing with probably the most informed bowler in the world.
I would agree.
She is just winning everything that is put in front of her, playing very, very well.
Well, she won the singles at the New South Wales State Championships. Do you know what else she won?
Pairs.
The mixed pairs and the triples.
I didn't win the fours because
she didn't play the fours. And I spoke to her on BA's podcast afterwards, and I'm like, Dawn, what was going on there? Why weren't you in the fours? Because she probably would have won it. But she's in such a rich vein of form. I think she may have won the Champion of Champions as well.
Yes.
So that's 5 state titles. And the Nationals, she's going to feature at the forefront of everything. The Oz Champs is going to be a huge week. Of course, the Marge Morris Trophy, New South Wales, they want that back.
Just going to go under. Oh, big chance of turning that ball up onto the shot pile.
So New South Wales want that back. And then, of course, the week before, she'll be representing New South Wales in the Champ of Champs, and she will want a chance at another world title because she was robbed of the opportunity to win the World Champion of Champions, and the 2 times that she won the Aussie event in 19 and 20 because COVID.
That wicked thing. Tell you what, this is an awesome head first end. She's not far away. Here is our Dawn.
Dawn Hayman. That'll be 1.
I would imagine having a good close look at it. It's one way or the other. Bronwyn's had a good look at it. It doesn't look pretty coming in, so I think he's going to play a forehand. Just try and come around the front blue bowl. Or maybe even play a little bit of weight and come under the blue bowl to sit the blue bowl out. He's going the draw option.
Final bowl of the opening end incoming. It's been such a magnificent calendar year of the last 12 months for Dawn Hayman because in the last year she's taken home a World Championships gold medal in the triples with Lindsay Clark and Kelsey Cottrell, sent Lindsay Clark off into the sunshine.
Sunset.
Or the sunshine of retirement, that's for sure. It was a perfect way to end for Lindsay, but Dawn was a huge factor in that. And the fours almost getting through for a gold. They won a silver against England, so falling in that final. But then BPL, an all-star team member.
That makes sure of the shot.
Does. So that'll be 1 to start proceedings.
I was very fortunate I got to do some rinkside announcing on those championships, and just an amazing run of form. And to hold it for as long as she has as well against the competition that she's playing against. Like, we are the best nation in the world, and she's just continues to beat the best of the best along the way. So
yep, she's one that I've certainly tipped. Well, in the podcast that Locke and I did before the AO, we did a couple of predictions, and Dawn was my tip to win the singles and player of the tournament.
Be very hard to tip against.
Certainly, but there's other players around, and of course the player of the tournament is the player that accrues the most ranking points in the Bowls Australian national rankings throughout the Australian Open. It's not adjudicated by anyone. It is based solely on performance. And Dawn Hayman will be right up there when the whips start cracking. She lost an epic final a couple of years ago to Kelsey Cottrell in the singles. It was one of the best matches we've had at the Australian Open in a long time. It's one, I believe, just the one title here at the AO Hollywood.
I feel that could be about to change. But like you said, there's such a high calibre of bowlers in both sides of the draw for the men's and the women's. The competition is hot as we get a great little lead bowl there.
And Hollywood, anything can happen as well. Cass Millerick and Kylie Whitehead, they're out. They've been eliminated from the women's pairs. And I know we've got next best qualifiers. They actually finished third in their group.
I was talking to Lockie off air and I said that there's normally always a throw-up somewhere in the women's pairs or even the men's pairs where a
big team,
not so known team makes its way through to the final and just has a really hot week of bowls. And then that's what this tournament's all about.
Yeah.
I mean, you could come off a massive win streak like Dawn's on and walk into a couple that are just playing out of their skin at the time and boom, it's all gone.
Exactly right. Dawn, this is the only discipline that she has ever saluted in. At the Australian Open back in 2019 with Jen Delves. Jen Delves defending champion with Tash Van Eldyk. They got through yesterday.
Oh, look at this for leading.
Jamie Lee, sensational. A big high five. And both of them wearing the Sparms. Chloe Stewart has certainly kitted out absolutely everybody in the national setup.
Skin protection is so important in our sport. Not sure if this bowl's going to hold its line. Turns away. But another good bowl on the head.
But yeah, you're right, Hollywood. I think, you look at some of the players that have gotten through in the pairs, and I think the 2022 women's pairs event is one that stands out for me when you see Trish Doolan and Wendy Wilson getting through to the final, and they're taking on Paris Baker and Olivia Bloomfield, who gave one of the all-time great speeches after winning that title. We won't repeat it here.
How can you forget that?
A bit early in the morning, but she's certainly a character, that's for sure.
It is a G-rated show.
Mm-hmm. I would like to do a Ringside Live After Dark one night.
Should certainly be one of your first guests.
After you, of course.
Always up for a chat. As all my clubs know.
Yep.
I turn up and they need to take 2 or 3 hours out of their day. By the time they're finished, they're going, oh, thank God he's left.
But no, it's the women's pairs and the men's pairs as well. We had a couple of years ago, Ben Winther and Brett Spur get through to the final, almost beat Aaron Wilson and Ben Twist.
That was an awesome game of bowls.
And they both went to try and go Jack Ditch.
That was a sensational game. So I think Bronwyn might have rested the shot back off the New South Wales pair.
Well, they're in the game early. That's for sure. Mary Speece watching on in Laguna Beach, California. Great to have your company, Mary. She was down here last year for the World Championships representing the United States of America. Very handy bowler.
Just going to slip through. It's a little bit weighty, considering that she's holding shot. Seems to be holding shot anyway. Jamie's liking this. Oh,
Just
holes
slides.
are made for bowls. Wow.
Sliding straight through.
You wouldn't think there was enough room for a bowl to fit through there, but it did. Needing to drop near on 2 metres of weight from a previous bowl. have just overcorrected. Did the job with the first one. 1-1.
Sure is. And of course, we are broadcasting at the moment, Hollywood, solely on YouTube for the foreseeable future. Just a couple of gremlins with Facebook yesterday. If it does change before the end of the tournament, we will update you. But from now on, go to YouTube. This is where you can watch every single minute of Rinkside Live. Facebook is becoming a very frustrating platform to deal with, that's for sure, and YouTube, absolutely sensational. So this is where you can watch us. You can also get the YouTube app on your smart TV, put us on the big screen.
Why not?
Exactly.
Feel like you're actually right there. The size of the televisions we have these days.
Oh boy. Get a big 90-incher. Put us on.
Must admit, I've got 2 rather large televisions at home, so I can
Nice.
watch my live sport.
Nice.
Bit of a sports tragic myself.
You are. Apart from league, what's your sport of choice?
Definitely long bowls.
Well,
But
No, I mean
I'll watch anything.
Yeah.
I love my NFL. I love some of those more different sports like the cornhole and frisbee golf.
Okay.
I quite enjoy those as well.
a bit of ESPN.
Yeah, it's a great channel. But, and then of course you've got your majors, your tennis and your golf.
Very big on tennis, that's for sure.
I know you are. Yeah, you love
I
it.
love
Do a
my
bit of
tennis.
commentary down there at the Open.
Yes. Hopefully back next year. Need to try and sort that out. But no, that was one of the best experiences I've had, and hopefully can get some main draw matches coming up over the next year. And it's the best time of the year, January in Melbourne.
Oh, nice shots.
Apart from June on the Gold Coast, that's for sure.
Yes.
I've got 2 AOs and I love them both.
Being a part of this bowls Australian Open is just, it's a carnival of bowls, and it's not just the 2 weeks of the actual Open. You've also got the lead-up events and the couple of events in between the event, like the mixed pairs events that we have at Musgrave Hill and Robina.
Mega Bowl as well.
Mega Bowl.
Or next Saturday night. Get excited. Are you entering Hollywood?
I might have a crack, actually.
You got to get your entries in early though, because it filled up very quick.
Yes,
Paul
it was.
Holsky, the man of the people, he'll be waiting for you in the back room of Broadbeach.
Organised mayhem here last Friday, apparently.
Saturday.
Saturday, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, we changed the first night of the Mega Bowl because of the rematch.
Not quite sure who's got shot there now.
I'd say, looking at this, it's Dawn and Jamie Lee might have one.
Don't know if it was really that bright moving the jack then.
Now, we're playing a rink over to the direction we went the other day, or to in the same direction that we went on Sunday. So a little bit further away from the ditch. Let's see, and I think both hands might be a little bit more true today and very similar. That
Look at
ditch
this.
side.
It's just slipped past, but maybe. No, there's no movement from the lead, so no change.
And we
This
will.
is looking very good.
It is. And we will be changing directions today as well. So we'll be going from east-west this morning and then north-south for the final 2 sessions of the day.
We're bowling back towards the ocean at the moment.
Mind a dip this morning?
Oh. Fight the icebergs.
I've been running around trying to get things sorted and had to go get my second coffee as well, and I kind of sprinted. So I'm a little bit warm.
Yeah, so I got my second coffee in nice and early this morning. Had to fight the traffic from home to here.
How is the Gold Coast traffic?
It's
I feel
ugly.
like it's with all the roadworks going on, but I feel like it's still Melbourne. Melbourne would have you covered, surely.
Not a chance. To be honest, I think all major cities, the traffic's at the wrong time of day are just as bad as each other. It's just, we've got better scenery to look at.
See, I'm lucky in Melbourne. From my place to the Bowls Australia head office, I've found out all the back streets. So I can do that trip, doesn't matter when I leave, 20 minutes consistent.
Yeah, that doesn't happen here.
If there's no traffic, then I can use the main roads and do it in under 15.
We only need one hiccup and it just backs up everywhere.
Bye-bye, Charlie. Mary Speece asking what's bowls or the pink ones are. So Dawn and Jamie Lee, they're the blues. The pink ones for Ange Francis and Bronwyn Stevens. Ange, the lead, using Taylor GTRs. Bronwyn using Aero Optimas. So a couple more bowls left.
One bowl each left, and I think they're 2 down on the head, the New Zealand couple or Broadbeach couple. And we're seeing a forceful shot here.
Haven't seen one yet so far. She's not far away. It's dipping the wrong way.
Oh, hang on. Wait for the result. Oh, the result's gone their way.
Oh, it's like a let court in tennis where you get the fortunate result. You wave sorry, but you're not.
You're smiling on the inside.
Yep. That is as fortunate as it gets, but sometimes you've got to be in the area and give your bowl a chance to get that result.
Well, an old fella told me one day, luck only starts when you reach the head.
That's exactly right. Who was that old fella?
A fella by the name of Ted Smith. Mate, the crease in his whites, you could butter a piece of toast with. Unbelievable. He never had a hair out of place. He had white hair.
I love it.
He lived a nice long life, and he swears that drinking a cup or two of hot water in the morning, just plain hot water.
How hot are we talking?
We're talking like cup of tea, but just without the tea bag. It's amazing what you learn on these live streams, isn't it, folks?
I know. Well, I learn something new every day when I sit with you, Hollywood. That's
probably all those years of life I've lived so far. I'd like to share my experiences.
So let's see what the end result is here. I think it's a 1.
So
we're going to get a measure.
It's the side blue bowl opposed to the back pink one.
See, I was thinking it was going to still be 1 to Ange and Bronwyn, but maybe with Dawn's line, that might...
She might think that she's holding.
Think that it's theirs, the Jackaroos.
And it is.
So 1 to Hayman and Worsnop. 2-1. We're working up in singles here. 15 ends to go. Derek White watching from Northern Ireland. Good to have your company as well. Let us know in the comments where you're watching from.
For those that haven't tried the 3-bowl pairs, it's not like the old 3-bowl triples where it's a skips game. If your lead is not on song in a game of 3-bowl pairs, you are behind the 8-ball drastically. It's very much like the 2-bowl triples. You've only got the 6 bowls, so you've really got to make them count.
Yep.
That just makes the lead position so important in this format.
I think that's where the positives are for 2 and walk pairs, because the lead can also play third and the skip can also play second. So it sort of gives you other opportunities, but I think 3-bowl pairs is where it's at. I love this format. I enjoy watching this format, and 2 and walk, it can get a little bit tedious at times because it takes such a long time to get through. And I know some players don't mind it.
Oh, I think the more traditional players like the 2x2x2x2. A social game is the 2x4x2. But I think the 3-bowl option is going to become more the norm than not. The game's quicker. It's more exciting. You're playing more than you're walking.
Yep. And I think this is the format that you're playing in the Oz Open, the World Champs, the Com Games. That was the format in 2022, where Alan and Chrissy absolutely dazzled the world, or the Commonwealth at least.
What a great final. Still one of my favourite games to watch, that.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, that was being there. It was special. It was really special.
There's a bit of a loose end here for the moment. See if Jamie Lee can tidy this one up.
Seeing what Dawn did with that final bowl to hit a 1-bowl target with the last bowl of an extra end in a Commonwealth Games final. It was something out of this world.
Just the reaction.
Yep.
Chrissy running up the green. It was, yes, it was. I still get shivers.
Yeah. Well, poor Locke next to me. He had a Val-shaped handprint on his arm because I was grabbing it so hard throughout that final. I'm a very stressful sports watcher, especially like when I watch Richmond. It's like I'm playing, but also like when you're invested in the people, like you are with Chrissy and Els, because they're just such great people. It's even more stressful because you just want the best for them.
That's another great bowl there. Wrestles it back to the Broadbeach pair, for the Broadbeach pair.
Yeah.
You know, and with the Bowls Australia high performance team, they are such a family.
Mm-hmm.
It is thicker than blood at times. They spend so much time together. They train together. They room together. They travel together.
It's the culture that they train,
and it's a massive change in our national side for bowls as well, and not only just for our athletes with disabilities, also travel as part of the team as well. So it's just a massive family of Australian players together.
Yep.
And the culture has been, as you said, the culture that we've built through this has been amazing. It's rock solid.
But you're right, it is a family, and being in the village at Birmingham, I'm part of the media team, but I still felt very included in that. But then you've got, you're sitting at dinner with everyone. Damien Delgado, Chris Flavel are there, Carl Healy, Ben Twist, and the entire team travels together. And, Lindsay Clark and Serena Bonnell and all of them just walking around together, one big family. It wasn't the case with the other countries. You didn't see them all together. It was just great. Dawn's just getting a little rub through.
This could help.
Not sure.
It certainly helps to have that little birdie on your shoulder.
So, couple of people. So we've got Maurizio watching in Redlands in California. Oh, I'd love to do a BPL in California. How much fun would that be? Watching from Christchurch, NZ, Nina Ray. Brad Sinclair also in Christchurch. Dimitri watching from Adelaide.
They'd be all envious of our weather.
Oh, yes. Oh, Redlands in California might be pretty warm right now. This one's on a pretty good track, Hollywood.
Going to run into that front one, though, I think.
Thought it might have come underneath.
Oh, it's not too bad, though.
It's blocked things off.
It's been very tight for the shots. Each end they've had to go in there and have a really good stare at who's holding and who's not holding.
Yeah, great to see so many people watching at this time of the morning. Malcolm, he's watching in Jersey. All the way up there in the UK, or in the UK region.
Oh, this looks like it's on a great track. Just not got the speed, I don't think. Ange is asking Bronwyn to come around that blue bowl.
Yep. And that Malcolm, is that Malcolm D'Souza? Just says Malcolm, so I know, because Malcolm D'Souza played at the World Championships and the Com Games.
Still looks like a fairly tightish line here, and not sure about the weight either. And we're down for another measure.
So I think, this is a bit of a banana skin match for Dawn and Jamie Lee, because Ange and Bronwyn are very capable bowlers. Bronwyn's actually part of the New Zealand high performance setup.
Yes, we're one down.
So, continue to work up in singles, having last bowls seeming to be the way to go at the moment. 2 apiece after 4.
Well, it's like any championship competition. That first round, everyone's in there with a chance to win it. It's only after that first game, if you've had a loss, that things start to wane a little bit. But that first game of every championship or tournament is so hardly fought and contested. Because everyone's starting on the same footing in that first round.
Exactly right. That's why, the group stage at even a FIFA World Cup or the Euros coming up, Cricket World Cup going on now. How was the USA beating Pakistan?
There's been some major turn-ups in the... Looks like the Pommies might not even make it through.
Wouldn't that be hilarious?
Oh, that'd break my heart. Sorry viewers.
Yeah, sorry.
that is a bit of a biased comment. But I am Australian in one eye and can't see out the other. Oh, great start here.
The other eye sees maroon.
Very much so. Very parochial Queenslander. Almost as bad as Clive in his West Australian. Actually, I'm probably worse. I just hide it better.
That's true.
There is no filter there with Clive.
No. If they're Western Australian, he will love you. It's like half my family is Croatian, and if you're Croatian, you're immediately a friend, which I love. It's nice, it's hospitable. That's what Clive is with Western Australians. You tell him you're from WA.
So you should be. You should be proud of where you've come from.
Exactly.
Are we talking about the rinks?
Yeah, Maurizio, just clarify the distance within the markings. We're talking rinks, or are these the squares, the little grid?
Those little grids come from the rink markings that are put down pre-game, so that when we change the rinks, we move them about 2 or 3 feet each day, so that we don't wear the green in the one spot. So those you can move the rink about a couple of feet.
Yep. So those so they are you said it there 2 to 3 feet, but they're only a grid on the corners of each green. So if you look around, like if you zoom into your screen, you can see that there's lines all across, and that's just the centre of the rink markings.
Yeah, they just intersect as the lines that are going northwest. Northeast, north-south, with the east-west lines. They're just crossing over, so there's no actual distance in there, but they're normally around the 2.5, 3 feet. But it's a good way to judge who's got shot and whatnot when they're a little bit away.
Do you know how much that helps me?
Plenty. The New South Wales pairing being very dominant here on this end. Take a good draw shot to wrestle this shot back.
And this is where the consistency of Dawn and Jamie Lee are going to be. That's where it's going to be pivotal for them, because they don't often struggle. They just, they do their job. They continue to pepper and probe the head. And look at what Dawn is doing here. So this is where Ange and Bronwyn need to be on their game. They have to be just as consistent.
Normally, if you're going to beat a pair with this type of consistency, you've just got to play that brilliant shot at the right time, because you're not going to get a lot of opportunities to do so.
She's not far away.
When you're down on the head, you've got to be really precise and try and draw the shot, or in this case, play the right attacking shot at the right time. And I think she's converted that.
I'm not 100% sure. Jamie Lee's going to give us an indication. The old finger measure. Hasn't really given too much away.
I think she's saying they're down. So she can afford to play a little tight. She can play under her own blue bowls, or even come off the inside of the pink ones. She's enjoying this line. It's all about the pace now.
Dawn Hayman
Back to your own.
rocks it in. They do slide a bit on these greens, but let's see what Bronwyn Stevens wants to opt with here. Both at the head.
I think she's got no option here but to play the forehand, drawing up onto her own bowls or around them. Unless, of course, Dawn's last bowl is shot, and that's a good guide to draw inside. But you'd favour playing into your own bowls rather than trying to come around opposition bowls that only need a roll over. All comes into what type of confidence you got, whether you prefer your forehand to your backhand. Yeah, but she's taking the safer option, playing the forehand up to her own bowls or around.
Yeah, Maurizio talking about the grid here, he's saying that since we only watch this sort of corner, thought it was throughout the rink. But no, he said it's incredibly helpful when trying to determine shot. 100% you're right. Because obviously when we're so far away, we can't really see what's going on. We're utilising the cameras. And it gives us an idea of where things are situated.
Yeah, without those grids, it's very, very optically challenging. Yes, there's an illusion there at times where you think a bowl's actually shot when it's nowhere even near the count, or there's a bowl that's in the count that you haven't even considered. So that's where we need to invest in a spider cam.
They're incredibly expensive. Hollywood?
Just hang a couple of little ropes off the thing and a little camera. I'm sure we could do something.
We could go to Bunnings, I'm sure. DIY.
You can go up the pole, mate.
Oh, no. I'm not doing that. There'd have to be like 1,000-point safety check before I go up there.
Okay, so I don't think things have changed too much for Dawn. She's got to play something similar to her last bowl.
Doesn't often need more than a chance. Dawn Hayman, let's see what she can do here.
Oh, she might have corrected here. I really want to get onto that pink one. I don't think it's made any changes.
Don't think so. So let's find out. I'm going to get the measure out.
So 5 ends, 5 measures.
Incredibly close. And it's where, look, they were in a bit of trouble here. They were probably 4 down, this New Zealand pairing. But Bronwyn Stevens playing a mega bowl.
As I said before, in a match like this, with the consistency of the opponent, it's going to take that one really good bowl every end to keep you in it, if not help you win the game. Not to say that the pairing from New Zealand or Broadbeach aren't good bowlers. They are very, very capable bowlers. But when you're coming up against the likes of Jamie Lee and Dawn, it's that little bit extra.
And Dawn is in the form of her life at the moment. So let's see. Let's see what happens.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah. I think there is one on our microphone kit here, but too scared to.
Pull it up.
I accidentally pressed it once and it came up with a womp womp womp.
Oh no.
So not sure what the end total was there.
1-2 Dawn and Jamie Lee.
It was in the end.
Seems to be one going back to the beach and for New South Wales and coming away from the beach for Broadbeach.
Well, I think it's also having that last bowl, which has been fortuitous, although it didn't really matter there.
And we're seeing the ditch-to-ditch or very long length jacks in action.
Yep, they've changed it.
You'll find the more experienced bowlers will play either ditch-to-ditch or very minimum. Whereas club bowlers, they like to stick to their 3/4 length. This looks like it's a very good start. Yeah, very good start.
Jamie Lee doing very nicely there. She's engaged to the one and only Aaron Wilson. Her and Disco wedding planning at the moment.
When are they going to find time?
I don't know, so much bowls going on.
That's not a bad reply.
But Disco was telling us the story before the BPL about how he proposed to Jamie Lee. And he planned it with Summer, his daughter, and said, so when we're at the Trevi Fountain, you're going to give Mummy this ring. But the problem was he gave Summer coins to throw in before that. So they'd thrown the coins, and then eventually Summer gets her hands on the ring and goes, well, I've thrown everything else in. So ring into the Trevi. Disco's had to go fetch it and then propose. It's one of the better stories I've heard.
That is fantastic.
Had to actually go into the Trevi Fountain to find it.
That is sensational.
Especially with so much security around there, they would have...
What are you doing?
Yeah. I was surprised BA didn't get a call or anything.
Well, he's done some ripper things, our Aaron.
Local jackaroo.
Good
In
shot
trouble
there.
with Italian authorities for jumping in the Trevi Fountain. Very funny story, though.
Climbing into grandstands without half his uniform.
Yep, I was up in that grandstand that day. There's a photo of that where Disco's kind of just like you can only see his legs after he's fallen in, and Kylie Whitehead just looking down, going, "Oh, Disco."
Oh, you've done it again.
That final against Gary Kelly in 2022 in the Com Games in Birmingham. It was bewildering how good he was. He had that match won after 5 minutes.
One of the most dominating matches you would have seen at a level that high.
But I think what people didn't see was his semi-final against Ian McLean, and we was in the media centre, and a couple of people were really talking up Ian McLean and saying, you know, he's a real chance at winning this. Before he knew it, Disco was up by a fair margin, and you could see Ian sort of whistling down the green, and it was just bizarre. Like Disco just so far ahead, so relaxed, and he had it won so early.
And he plays at such a pace that you can't really get it back. Once he gets on that roll, you're trying to stop that momentum.
So I think Ian knew. He was just, okay, well, this is all I can do.
We'll get another really big bowl here from Bronwyn because they're in a bit of trouble again. She's dropped that one short. It may only be the two shots, but it's where they're situated. It's not easy to get to. Travelling quite nicely. Yep, that's in there.
Dawn's fiance or partner Thomas watching on.
Here we go. This looks like a very good bowl. Clear road. It's going to take a bit of pain out of it. Maybe not.
This is the thing. This is what we alluded to, Hollywood, the consistency. They are going to be at the jack the entire time. So if you can go with them, fair play to you. But if you can't, they will make you pay.
And that hasn't made things much easier, but there is a little line in through there. But it's going to have to be very, very good.
This is a massive bolt.
The speed of her last shot wasn't too bad. Just got to find that line. She's finished 2 bowls short of the jack with her previous bowl. She does correct the line, and she's going to take a lot of pain out of this.
Bronwyn Stevens.
On its way. All
Big
on your
bowl.
speed now, Bronwyn, because that is on a fairly decent track.
What has she got?
That is going to help a lot.
Well, I think
We might have had our first multiple, 2 shots.
it was.
Very good save there
So
by Bronwyn.
5-2 in favour of Dawn Hayman and Jamie Lee Worsnop. They forge ahead as we round the bend. We're a third of the way through this. And for the first time, we see someone win a multiple and also 2 ends in a row. Is this where they make their move, the right-at-home Jackaroo pairing? Jason Bauer. I can see the amazing Serena Bonnell 2 rinks away. Any chance we can get a score update on their rink? It's 8-4 in somebody's favour. Can't quite see who is actually in front.
Well, the leaders.
Well, that's a given. Someone's in front.
Captain Obvious again. So that's the dad joke in me.
You were saying that you were going to put in a couple of those.
Another good start there by Jamie Lee. Jamie Lee's on a good line again here as it comes down the hill a little bit. This is where we need Ange, Broadbeach pairing need Ange to steady the ship and get a couple close. She had a bit of a wild end last one. Now, if she sent it, it shouldn't be too far away. Yeah, that's a nice bowl. Very usable. Say Jamie Lee's holding shot with the near jack high blue bowl. This is coming in nicely. Yeah, very good. Very consistent from Jamie Lee. And she doesn't have to change too much here. Very good line here as well. Just going to slip by. Gives Bronwyn some options, but she's going to have to beat Dawn. Dawn's going to beat her to it probably.
Of course, tonight, Hollywood, the next Club Map and Bowls Australia webinar, philanthropic funding and Australian Sports Foundation. So information on bequest and gifting programs utilising the Australian Sports Foundation to collect deductible or tax-deductible donations, and finish with a Q&A. Scan the QR code. Tonight, 7 p.m, 9:30 p.m, Australian Eastern Standard Time. And, well, if you want your club to make some more money, this is a great way to start.
Sure, we can find a gold nugget in this webinar for you.
Yep.
It's another great bowl from Dawn. Really piling on the pressure now. Well, on the speed here, because the line looks really good. That's where they're coming from. It's coming down nicely. Just going to slide past, I think. Oh, good effort.
As we said, the consistency around the jack, Clive. Oh my God.
Oh, that hurt. Oh. Drop the mic.
I saw his name on my computer just then. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's
Hollywood.
all good.
My God. I was bound to do it once. Lucas has called me, Lucas Protopappas, he's called me Clive about 1 million times, and I had the same reaction as you.
Let's see what we can do here. She's cut a line, and she's dropped that little bit of weight as well to hold the line. So, as I was saying, you miss by that little bit against a team like this, and you are going to pay dearly for it.
Going to unmute myself now. Had a little refresh. Hollywood,
Well,
Michael.
I think Dawn's got to really play this with confidence and try and touch that jack and take the shot away, because at the moment, as I said yesterday, it's sitting out like a shag on a rock.
Yeah, I understand what that means now.
He's gone and Googled it.
Yep. I had to be careful what I Googled.
Just going to slip in behind. May have made sure of the fourth shot there with that rocking on the back of it. Not 100% sure though. But this is a real game changer, this bowl here. At 2-5 behind and possibly 4 shots down, if we don't make a save or a conversion here, the game could slip away very, very quickly.
It could. This is what we said, that they're going to have to be in the area constantly, and it'd be mentally exhausting, wouldn't it?
Oh,
It's like, are you kidding me? They're just there every time. But you've got to stay positive. You've got to keep your bowls up. And unfortunately, this won't do. And this could be a huge collect. Didn't quite see the hand movement. Was it a 4 or 5? See,
I think it might only been 3. I think I saw the 3 fingers go up.
try and check this. Don't have markers today, so it makes it a little bit more difficult for us. I think it might have been a 4. Look, we'll double check that. We'll go with a 4 for now. 9-2 the score. That may obviously change. It might have been a 3, it might have been less. We don't know.
Jamie Lee was very quick with the signal. It's another fair start. Again, within that yardstick. Is that 3 or 4? 3.
It was a 3. In the last end.
How you question me?
That's why you have the best eyes in the business, Hollywood.
Well, it only cost me $1,000, so...
If you're going to pay that much, you'd want it to work.
You certainly do. This one sneaks in the head.
Helen and Phil watching from Timboon in Victoria. Have you ever been down that way?
I cannot say that I have.
Now, right next door is Port Campbell, one of the most beautiful little towns on the Great Ocean Road. It's got like its own little private beach. It's right next to the 12 Apostles. It is one of the most spectacular places in Victoria. It's quiet. It gets busy in summer, obviously, but I absolutely love this place. It's one of my favourite places to go.
It's another one of my bucket lists, doing the Great Ocean Road and spending a good week or two doing it too.
Yeah, well,
grabbing a camper van and taking my time.
It's amazing. We did in 2020, just before lockdown, actually, just before COVID was really a thing. We did 3 nights in Port Campbell and then 3 nights back in Anglesea, sort of closer to Melbourne. And there's just beautiful spots all the way up. We did Port Campbell to Warrnambool one day. Did the whole Great Ocean Road, Lockhart Gorge.
I may make a fool of myself here, but is that where the Bells Beach surfing titles are held along there as well?
Yeah, not too far from Anglesea. It goes Jan Juck, Bells Beach. Jan Juck's a great place to swim. You take the boogie board there. I'm not a surfer, but boogie boarding, very, very fun.
So we even give geography lessons.
I know.
How good are we going? Told everyone
Apart from when I
Invercargill.
get your name wrong.
Got a thick skin, mate. Found out where Invercargill is in New Zealand.
Yep.
How it's across
Stewart
from Chile and Stewart Island. Seriously, you've got to go there.
Yeah, New Zealand is definitely on the bucket list. I've never been.
I remember we went from the plane into town. It's only a little 7-seater type plane across. And we had the wild deer jumping across the roads, and they reckon it's one of the few places you can still find the live kiwis. Didn't see a kiwi while I was there, but the local hotel is like seriously from here to not here to halfway across the green, from the
awesome.
front step of the hotel to the beach to the little cove, and it's full of the nice little vessels. And the water's that clear that you can actually see the sunken vessels around the island.
Wow.
You jump on a moped. Look at this massive, big, long beach that they land some airplanes at times. It's just a fantastic place to spend a day or 2 days.
Beautiful. It's funny. There's something about going to other countries and getting to see the wildlife that they're known for.
Yes, those native birds.
And I had family come here from Croatia in December. And they were just desperate to see a kangaroo. My grandparents live in Sunbury, so they're on a farm there, so you tend to see them. But the first kangaroo they saw was actually roadkill.
Oh, no.
So it wasn't
Good
great.
shot, Donnie.
So, one half of the kangaroo was on one side of the road, the other one was on the other. So it wasn't great, but they ended up seeing some live ones eventually.
It's amazing how they think we actually saddle them and ride them.
Yeah, it's...
You see those cartoons?
And you even see those sitcoms from around the world. They think that there's kangaroos everywhere. It's like you don't see them wandering around a major city.
Oh, just may have knocked another one up. And of course, we've got Bluey.
Yes.
Now
internationally famous is Bluey.
And his big red balloon.
Have you ever watched an episode of Bluey?
Can't say that I have. We're seeing plenty of blue here, though.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like we got Bluey versus Peppa Pig out on the rink. I have seen Peppa Pig.
No, I can't say that I have.
Well, it came when I was a bit younger.
Yeah, my children are a little bit older than that. Another multiple looking like aiming up here, so we might be seeing a bit of weight being played here, being on the forehand. No. Can't actually see this shot. She could be proving me very wrong here. Clear road. Oh, just only had to sneak past that. It was a big opportunity to get in the shot.
One more to Dawn and Jamie Lee. Continue to forge ahead. We're almost at the halfway point of this match, Hollywood. 9-2. They have forged away. This is now their fourth end in a row after we went one. We exchanged ones for the first four ends.
It's again, as we keep stressing, it's the consistency of the girls in pink, and they're playing at such a pace that it's hard to rest it back. The Broadbeach couple have got to try and do something a little different other than just get shot, maybe slow the pace of the game down a little bit, or even try and make it quicker, just to try and shake that momentum that Dawn and Jamie Lee have got. It might sound like a little bit of gamesmanship, but it all is part of the game. This looks like it's on a fairly good track.
Ange Francis and Bron Stevens asked a serious question now.
Oh, that's a great shot.
And they've answered well. Ange doing nicely to outdo Jamie Lee Worsnop. Of course, on the next rink over, Irene Attard, one of the Maltese players from World Bowls Championships last year. Also in action, Malta almost getting a gold medal. That's amazing. Malta almost getting a gold medal in the women's pairs final last year. Rebecca and Connie Rickson.
Two girls from my club on the Sunshine Coast. And mum plays as well. They got a bronze medal in the Commonwealth Games 2018 here on the Gold Coast, here at this club.
Rosemary.
Oh, here's a good bowl. Where's it going to bounce? Oh, nice stuff.
This is a brilliant head so far. Raymond watching from a wet and windy Pakenham down in Victoria, asking what bowls they're using. Ange using Taylor GTRs, Bron Stevens using Era Optimas, Jamie Lee Worsnop, Taylor SRs, and Dawn Hayman, Henselite XGs.
We see a bit of weight. And it's not a mile away.
3 brilliant bowls from Jamie Lee.
Now, was that the toucher that went back with it? Pretty sure it was, but didn't make it to the ditch, so plenty of room to draw. Says me here in the commentary chair.
Always difficult drawing to the ditch. What I saw at the World Bowls Championships last year in the vision impaired final, Jake Felberg with 2 extraordinary bowls to draw to the ditch. And, you know, to be like most people that can see with full vision can't do it. Yet he was able to do it as a visually impaired athlete. It was stunning.
It was a crucial part of the game as well.
Geez, that was a good final.
Sometimes it pays not to be able to see. Just trust your delivery and trust your technique.
May Homer and Herman Schultz putting on an absolute show with Jake Felberg and Jackie Hudson. Geez, Jackie Hudson's a wonderful human being as well.
She is a character, isn't she? Always got a smile on her face.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's going to make it back onto the rink. Just comes back onto the rink. It's a rare loose one.
I think the thing with Dawn, she's kind of almost our version of the like Serena Williams here. Always got that big entourage following her around. Great to see. Of course, I reckon she's better than Serena Williams.
I would agree.
She's got more more World Championship medals.
I think she's a much better person too. Don't see the tantrums.
No.
But as you said, she's got a great support group behind her. As do all our jackaroos. I mean, you don't get to that level without having plenty of support and help along the way.
No, but Dawn, just such a humble human being.
Pretty hard to get 2 words out of her.
Oh, no, she's pretty talkative.
I haven't had the opportunity.
No. I'll introduce you.
No, intimidating. She's going to sneak through. We're going to need a clean road. Oh, a little unfortunate running into that. Just such a smooth delivery. Not a lot can go wrong with it. Just going to find inside that bowl. Oh, didn't need the edge. Well, it's taken that bowl off the green, which is now going to make things a little easier. Looking to play a weighted shot.
So there is a touch up. The shadows are really wreaking havoc with our vision here. Let's see what Bron does.
I think they were talking about at least arriving to the bowls, which is obviously a good option. She's arriving with plenty.
Tight, turns her back on it.
Another 2.
This is turning into a very fruitful affair for Hayman and Worsnop. They win another end. 5 in a row, in fact. They lead at 11-2. As we round the bend halfway
sun's getting through to us.
And 10 coming up. Play 18. Of course, we play through the full allotment. Shots up matter.
Yes, the for and against is very important.
Yep, especially with next best qualifiers in singles play. It's very similar in fours as well.
Do we know how many next bests are going
13.
to go through? 13.
In the women's pairs.
It's not a lot.
No, 51 sections, and the next best make it to 54, and that means we get 6 rounds that you have to get through in the qualifying. In the knockout stage that you have to win.
Through the round of 64.
So 9 matches is what it'll take to win the women's pairs at the 2024 Australian Open. And there are a stack of good teams here. We've got the World Bowls Championship winning pair of Alina Nawawi and Ainabila Tamizi. Hollywood's...
I got it out once, actually twice. The introductions and the congratulations at the end of the match. And I was rather proud of myself there. All with your help, of course, breaking it down into...
syllables? Phonetic?
Yeah, that word.
I do pride myself on my pronunciation.
Here's another good start. Not what it has been, but still peppering the jack. Putting Ange under a fair bit of pressure. Hey, Tone.
Bit of a lull here for Ange and Bronwyn. Just been asked so many questions, and they've fought so hard. But just when you're playing two people that are in such wonderful form.
We'll have a look at this. Bang. Just like a Tuesday morning roll-up at the moment for the girls. They're just out there so relaxed and just plonking them on the jack like it's a roll-up.
It's like a video game.
This is a fair effort here. Back for the jack. Oh, it's come under the jack. Should be enough for shot. Got the speed. No.
So Bronwyn Stevens.
Doesn't need to change too much from the last. But should be looking to add another. Seems to be a very good line. And the speed's not too bad neither. That's a very good bowl. That's a great shot. Dawn's option is to just draw the shot. All dependent on her weight. No, it's going to slip across under the head. So here's a chance to score a 3 and get them back within a sniff.
Certainly need it.
Yes.
They've only won 2 ends. Both of them have been singles. Dawn and Jamie Lee have just been in the area every end.
Well, Bronwyn's got it out there again in a great line. Just not going to finish it off this time, I don't think. I'll take 2 and take charge of the mat. Let's see what they decide to do. So they'll shorten this up.
So 11-4. Michael Sorensen, of course. If you want to get your kid involved at your club, the kids at your club involved, Rookie Rollers 25% off kits with a free wedge with each kit purchased. And you did the calculations, Hollywood, of what that would come down to?
$412.50. That is giving them away. Normally,
Yes.
the wedge itself is worth $100. So if you've got some junior programs or school holiday programs you're looking to run, or just for your barefoot bowls so that all the family can play together, get out there, jump on the Bowls Australia website and order yourself a kit. $412.50, 32 bowls, 8 jacks, plenty of witches' hats, and a couple of hurdles, plus a scoring mat and a scoring wedge for $412.50.
It's pretty good. Bowls.com.au. Locks put the link in there. Go and buy them now before they all sell.
Well, that's the fear at that price. As Jamie Lee arrives onto that shot bowl.
4 bowl backpacks, Hollywood, are also 25% off on the BAE store. So you can get a backpack, 2 bowls each with a jack, $40.
Christmas present, birthday present.
Just some regular shopping.
There's not too much sporting equipment you can get for that type of price. And you can use them anywhere.
Yep. Take them on the road. What about when you go on the Great Ocean Road? Take a set of Rookie Rollers. Or take your bowls and you can go around all the clubs down there. Have a roll.
I've always got at least 4 in the car, so that even when I do go away, and we even meeting up with a couple of family friends or whatnot, we can always pull it out and have a little bit of a roll in the park or down the lounge hallway.
That's good.
Can have a lot of fun with them.
Yeah, I'm tempted to get myself a pair. You know what I really want? A set of the carpet bowls.
Oh, they turn far too much.
You know, those little ones that you can get. We used to have them at school camp, and they were the toast of the free time. If you could get your hands on those first, you and your mates, then everybody else was envious. The amount of wrong biases I bowled with those. Oh. But had a friend send me a photo saying that she found some at her family home and she'd taken them home, and I was very jealous.
When I was working at Mooloolaba, we used to have our Good Friday staff parties, and we'd just have it at the club there, and we'd pull out the little blue ones and little red ones, and we'd take them out, and they would turn like the poultice.
Yep.
Geez, they used to turn. But a lot of fun. Jamie Lee's on a good line here. And just grabs the jack.
Do apologise. The cameras have just shut on us. I'm not sure what's happened there.
Sure, Lockie will fix it.
Yep, Lockie's just up the other end.
And again, bang, the pressure goes straight back on the New Zealand pair, or the girls from Broadbeach. From sitting nicely with a couple of shots, Jamie Lee just trails the jack away and stays with it too.
There we go. Lock's gone and fixed it all up for us.
might be travelling a little bit. But it breaks up the 3 at the back. Was an opportunity there for Bronwyn to trail that jack, sit the bowl, trail the jack. Now it's still there with the right weight. On a fair line for this as well. Trying to get back. Good speed for the shot.
So Hollywood, some section winners from yesterday in the women's pairs. We had Kelly McCarahan. She got through with Leanne Chinnery. Sophie Kurzman and Kate Argent-Bowden, two great friends and emerging jackaroos. They ensured their way through, although it was a bit of a scare, lost their first match, but ended up getting through. Selena Goddard and Samantha Atkinson, very handy team. Chloe Stewart, Caitlin Inch, Deb Saunders and Hayley Packer. Pam Rowe and former jackaroo, Olivia Millerick. Kath Greenslade.
Oh, what a shot.
Very handy.
That looks like a nice 3, maybe 4 down there for Dawn. It's going to require pulling this one out of the hat.
Our marker from the other day, Adele Pursehouse, she got through. Eugenie Muncaster and Louise Cronin. Sharon Steele from the ACT.
As the camera freezes, and out it comes Dawn Hayman. You are a star.
Others to get through, Ellen Fife, Christina Christic, Emma Spicer and Brianna Smith, they got through. Jen Delves and Natasha Van Eldick. Maria Rigby as well, she's through. Taylor Bruce and Jessie Cattell. That's a very handy team. Some of the big notables to get through yesterday.
Star-studded field, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Look at the replay here as that comes through.
Just so simple. Step on the mat. Boom.
Another one, and it's 12-4 back on the board. Almost a third of the way through. Sorry, 2/3 of the way through this.
That's the other thing about playing the 3-bowl pairs. The game slips away so quickly. It has been a very dominant performance so far from the girls in pink. And there's another great start. Another beautiful morning here at Broadbeach. Barely a breath of breeze, the sun's out, not a cloud in the sky, and some absolutely brilliant bowls to be watching. Is it going to stay up?
No. It's not what you want with your first.
No.
Needs to be on the rink. Just gives you less to play to, because essentially your second becomes your first. And by that time, Jamie Lee's already got 2 on the rink.
And 2 close ones at that.
Yeah, this looks pretty good. Jamie Lee, Worsnop, Muscle Memory. Those 2 in very good spots. Would have liked to have done a bit better with that second, but it'll do.
Well, it's given Ange something to arrive to, so she can still play with confidence. And the only thing that she doesn't want to do is overcorrect on her last.
Yeah, doesn't want to drop it short, that's for sure.
Commentator's curse. Well, the speed wasn't too bad, just missed a line.
Yep. Yeah, got her weight okay, but now an opportunity for Jamie Lee to put a third in and really put this result beyond doubt.
Oh, it's tracking beautifully.
Little trot in behind it. And Jamie Lee Worsnop, you start. Best one of the lot. Ange Francis, she's got to be close here. She has to be, because at the changeover, Bronwyn Stevens does not want to be 3 down.
Well, by the time she gets on the mat, she'll be 4.
Well, it's
Giving us an
travelling.
opportunity. Every chance here to land on something.
She does. Knocks Jamie Lee's away towards the ditch. Stays on. So 2 down at the crossover. Jamie Lee, expert leading. 1 just in front, 1 behind.
Showing everyone at home how to do it.
I remember Carla Krasanik wrote a series on BA's website called Carla's Corner. And she wrote one on how important it was to be a lead and how much she loves the role of playing that position. And, a lot of people say, in a game of 4s, lead's irrelevant almost. But no, it's not.
No way.
It's so important to have a great lead, someone that can be right on the jack, knows where they are. And you look at the World Championships last year, Corey Wedlocker's lead, my word, he was good.
The thing is, if you specialise in that position, more often than not, you are the first person picked.
Because your skip will know how important you are, as Bronwyn Stevens gave that an almighty crack.
Just fallen short. Could be second shot. Yes, you can dominate a game from lead. There is definitely no doubt about that. Look at this. Poetry in motion. Can't but admire it, can you? Just be in awe. 4 down last end, steps on the mat calmly, draws a shot. Does Bronwyn have the speed to keep this online? It's in the area.
Very
Get
close.
the result? No. That is unlucky.
Dawn Hayman.
Patiently waiting to see whether they're up or down.
I think they've got 2 here.
Still got 2. Wow.
So Jamie Lee's just near her foot there. Still second, in that one she put in before, I think is right up there.
Well, if Dawn can get to that jack and trail at a foot, she's going to turn it into 5.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, she's not a mile away, just going to cut underneath.
Oh, that might have changed things a little bit. She's got a little wry smile on her face.
I think Jamie Lee just saying 1 now. See what Bronwyn Stevens can do. They've only won 3 ends of the 11 that we've played today. After a slow start for Dawn and Jamie Lee, they've worked their way into this nicely. Coffee kicked in.
That. She turned ahead pretty quickly on that delivery.
So some sensational leading from Jamie Lee Worsnop. Has them with another end.
Very business-like now, isn't it?
I believe it was 1.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just a 1.
So not many scores of more than 2 here. So the heads have been close. There's been 1-3. At the moment sitting at 13-4. But they've just kept winning ends. That's all you got to do. You keep winning them, you win the match.
1 an end, you're going to win. And this looks like it's honing in fairly well again
It
too.
is.
Maybe a little bit tight, but it's not going to run away too far. Come on, Ange. Drop one in there for us.
It's all about how you responded. Dawn Hayman and Jamie Lee Worsnop looked like a battle might be on their hands at 2 apiece after 4, but the best players know how to respond.
They really did go up that extra gear, didn't they?
They did. And I saw, actually this morning, Roger Federer did the Dartmouth keynote speech, or the speech for the class of 2024. And he said, the great player, in my career I had a winning rate of 80% in matches, but do you know, in all of those matches, in the 1,200 that I played, or 1,500 that I played, I only won 54% of the points. So the great champions know
The moment.
that you're going to lose a lot in your life, but it's when you win the points.
It's that moment. You've got to take that moment when it's there. That's another good bowl there.
Yeah, Roger Federer up.
Oh, here
One
comes
of
a good
my-
bowl.
Yeah, Roger Federer, one of my sporting idols.
Just suffocating the Broadbeach pair at the moment. Jamie Lee and Dawn. Just not giving him an opportunity anywhere. This isn't going to be 100 mile away. Oh, that was unlucky. It's opened the head up though for the skippers. As we have the crossover. Not exactly sure which one's holding shot there. They're both about a similar distance away. But Dawn to go first. It's trying to work its way back in. Bronwyn's given this one plenty of air. It's going to work its way back.
Apologies for some of those cameras. Sometimes the range can be a bit of an issue in this east-west direction. Also the sun as well. This morning session in this direction, always difficult.
Oh, it just runs through. Anybody could have shot here at the moment. It's 2 down. Bronwyn really needing to try and draw another one here, or draw one here. Looks on a fair line. Getting back. It's got to be close to shot, that one.
Let's see what the verdict will be. We've got one more left to come for both.
Not giving much away there. We would definitely be guessing if we were to tell you what the head's situated. Dawn sends down her last bowl on this end.
This is looking like it's a safer line. We'll go and check those cameras soon and hopefully be able to bring you. Lockie's just on fire this morning. Having to put out a few fires with these cameras.
Or fire them up, one of the two.
Yep. So Bronwyn Stevens now. Very, very, very big bowl for their match. They're down by 9 with 5 ends to play after this one. We're into the last third of this match.
Oh, we sent it.
It's coming.
You know what? That
Don't know.
well, we should know shortly. Jamie Lee goes down to the measure.
Will they win their 4th end of the match? It's been fairly comprehensive.
I think the pink one beats that blue one. Might be just this one.
Wait with bated breath to see what the total will be.
Like we said earlier, every shot counts. And 1-2, the Broadbeach New Zealand pair.
So, 13-5, that's the score. They finally win their 4th end. It's been really close heads. There's been a lot of measures. I reckon we've had about 6 or 7 maybe.
And none of them have been, they've been no gimme measures, they've been tight measures. Especially those first 4, I think first 5 ends there were 5 measures. So
there were. You are exactly right, Hollywood.
But again, even though they're 8 shots behind, it hasn't, they've toiled really hard to be that 8 shots behind. A lot of pairs would have just thrown their hands in the air and gone, oh, well, we're outclassed, we're going to just get through to the next game. But they're trying to keep this margin down.
Yep, because obviously there's still a chance for them to get through. And in the knockouts, anything can happen. In bowls, you just have to give yourself a chance.
Well, if I can get down to the final 16 of the Aussie Open, there's got to be hope for everybody.
You keep selling yourself short, Hollywood. I've seen you bowl. Very handy.
Okay, we're good at cricket.
What, you an off spinner or a leg spinner?
I can bowl all.
Oh.
I'm very versatile.
What about a big bouncer?
That's just normally me running in.
Oh, we have a good laugh here on Rinkside Live.
It's a massive change in length of the end, so it's going to take a little bit of while to correct what they're doing. Ange gets this down on a nice line. And just a little through. I'll back Jamie to draw one on top of it here. First half looks pretty good.
Sure does. Just comes around, lands behind. So the other matches that we're going to be bringing you on Rinkside Live, of course, today is, or yesterday, Dawn Hayman and her partner Thomas engaged for a year.
Oh. Another one to try and find time to get married.
It's not easy. So Up next, we have Protopappas and Morgan. Carol Protopappas, of course, one of the BA, works with the BA rankings with her son Lucas.
Mother of.
Yep. And then we've got, it's against Smith and Hamilton. After that, we've got Moffat and Panchawat against Laurie and Baldy.
Here we go. Edging closer and closer and closer, and draws the shot. Very well done again by Jamie Lee.
So they've gone really short with this length, haven't they? I feel like that's been the case when they've won their last couple of ends. They've gone really short just to try and throw the rhythm of Dawn and Jamie Lee.
But Jamie Lee, she's been up to it each time. She's been able to draw that shot. Jamie Lee has been the dominant lead of the two. It's made Dawn's job a lot less difficult than what it could be. But again, when needing to, Dawn's pulled out that big bowl, and being 4 down earlier and just drew the shot. Well, it's going to make things even harder for turning that shot bowl over and behind. It's on a very good track. Looking at it. Oh, it just slides off the edge of the bowl. Good attempt.
Dawn Hayman looking to send this down. Tries to come back, won't.
Might be the second shot.
Might just be.
Not a lot of options here for Bronwyn. She can try and spring that jack out. And she's got a couple of bowls in behind there that could bring it into the count. But not an easy shot to play. Pace of the green will be getting quicker and quicker as well. Not as big a dew overnight as it was.
No, it was quite, even
previous.
where we sit, you know, there's always a bit of dew on the grass in the morning. Yesterday there was a lot. Today, not so much.
And 2 more.
So they continue. It's a rebound, and 15-5, that's the buffer. Almost in that very dangerous territory where the match could be over before the full allotment. 4 ends to play. They lead by 10.
Still got 39 minutes to finish.
Yep. Or Paul Holschke, his event, the BPL Cup. It's coming.
Everyone should have a crack at this. It's a club event. It's for club players. Just grab two members from your club. Find out where the next qualifying tournament is. Enter and have the chance of being with the big guns at Pine Rivers in November. And it is a great event, isn't it?
Yep, it really is. You're going to be playing with a couple of people at Helensvale.
Yes, trying to get through.
Very exciting.
Not the easiest club in the world to try and qualify from.
But you never know.
Plenty of internationals. Well, it takes out those couple of internationals that are actually playing in the BPL, so they can't play.
Exactly right.
But it's a great event. It's for any affiliated member of a club in Australia. Grab yourself a couple of mates. It's an open gender event. Ladies, jump out there and have a crack at it as well.
Get involved. It's great fun. And, you know, you could be playing on the TV rink at Pine Rivers, as the Edelong boys did last year. We've had some cracking finals too. That West Lakes final in 2021 at BPL 12. That was when it was held at Moama BPL Cup after COVID sort of rejigged a couple of things.
Yes, that was my birthday weekend. We had conference down there.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good time had by all. And I must admit, Darren Morrison, the skipper of last year's winning side, being an XBA employee, we did celebrate quite heavily after the victory.
After the victory, yes.
So a few swigs out of that cup.
Yep. And when did you re-emerge?
I was there the next morning.
Oh, wow.
Shadow over my former self. But, of course, we're only drinking lemonade.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, it might have been ginger beer.
Had a question come through from Maurizio. What time is the next game? 11:45 a.m., which is in an hour and 7 minutes time, wherever you're from. So, of course, you may be overseas, so just think an hour and 7 minutes.
As Jamie Lee has whacked 2 more on top of it again. Relentless pressure.
Be going in a different direction next. Be going in north-south.
We cross over with Dawn and Jamie Lee holding 2. And Bronwyn under pressure yet again.
Maurizio, see you gents in an hour.
Enjoy.
Hopefully you'll remain for the next 35 minutes, however long we have left of this. But of course, this session's much longer in the pairs and fours. You generally are hitting that 2 hour 15 time limit. More bowls played than in the singles. 12 each end instead of 8, so more time on the mat, more time watching bowls come down.
Oh, I don't want to back cut that, no. Dawn seems to be down on a really good line here.
So 3 here would be very, very handy if they can get it. She's coming in, just her weight too much.
Oh, trying to sit that pink bowl.
Could have made, what, 4 there?
Yeah, just had to turn it over to where her bowl is, and it would have been 4 shots to the Blues.
Your nemesis, the Blues.
New South Wales Blues.
What do you think of this send-off?
It did ruin the game, however, it was warranted.
Yep.
When you're calling out a player the whole week prior to it and it happens through, okay, it was careless, but it was still illegal. We'll find out more when it gets down to Melbourne, to the G, down in your territory.
Yes.
Looking forward to that one as well.
Yep. MCG is...
Look at this.
Oh, very close, but sat her own away.
Was so close to a force.
The MCG, I'm very biased, but it is the greatest stadium in the world. Very lucky that Richmond plays their home games there and not at that soulless dump Marvel. It's not a dump, but...
We are talking the MCG. It is an iconic stadium in Australian sport history.
So what has Bronwyn Stevens got? She might sit her own bowl away. That'll run through. So it'll be 2 more to Dawn and Jamie Lee. They lead by 12. 3 ends to play. If they win this end, it's over, but we'll play out the full allotment.
So we're pretty lucky up here in Queensland. We've got 2 great stadiums that we follow for each code. And one code doubles as a cricket ground as well as the AFL, and then we've got the old Lang Park, which is now Suncorp Stadium for the rugby league.
I went to the Gabba last year to watch Brisbane and Port Adelaide in the first qualifying final. It's a great place to watch footy. Every vantage point is fantastic.
You get to see the whole game. The whole ground is you're almost feeling like you're on top of it. Whereas the rugby league, if you got a chance, even if you're not a rugby league supporter, and you went out to the Suncorp Stadium and watched any football game, you feel like you're on top of them. I mean, the acoustics around the stadium, it's amazing. And when you've got that Queenslander chant going, my goodness.
Yeah, I'd love to go.
It is great to be a part of. I went to Game 3 last year, and that was something special.
And I do love, it's something that AFL is missing, that state of origin. It was so big. And then in the late 90s, of course, 1999 was the last one that we played. There was the 150th year anniversary game in 2008, and then there was the bushfire relief game in 2020. But the Big V has only been donned a couple of times since 1999. But the passion that Queensland and New South Wales have for state of origin, it's wonderful.
And it's how the competition basically stops for those 3 matches, and they give up their best players at a huge risk to the clubs.
With injuries and everything, especially the player that got knocked out the other night. He won't be playing on the weekend.
No, Brisbane Broncos have missed him for 2 weeks, and a very pivotal player for the Broncos. Me being a one-eyed Broncos supporter.
Yep. So that's where, AFL's so safe, if they had it and Richmond lost to Dustin Martin for a few weeks because of an injury in state of origin, that's where you'd be devastated. Jamie Lee, brilliant.
Just a masterclass of leading, isn't it? This one looks fairly close. In you come, Ange. Inside.
Flops down. That'll be one up.
And she's going, yes. And then she goes, oh no, we've got Dawn following up. Just the skill level in this sport. For the non-bowlers that are tuning in for the first time, it's you don't really get the concept until you've actually had a go.
No. And at Darebin, where our head office is, we bowl, there was a Survivor game, and we bowl them pretty
ordinary.
Yeah. It's bumpy, and there's no bias. It bowls against the bias half the time. But, then you go to a proper green like this, and you realise how difficult this sport is and how easy these people make it look.
And I look forward to our last Friday or Thursday night when we're packing, or Friday night when we're packing everything up, and we get out there and have our own little game of killer. It's the end of the tournament.
I'm not looking forward to it.
Oh,
I always miss out. I can never get my weight right.
I look forward to it every year. It's a bit of fun.
It is great fun. But
make us play left-handed.
Well, considering when I'm playing with my normal hand and I end up in the ditch or 10 metres short, you should be playing left-handed.
It's a good bit of fun.
Yep. Hopefully I can actually send my bowls into a good spot this time.
We only get to catch up probably twice a year, so I'm a bit more fortunate than the rest of the team because most of our major events are played in my area, so I get to spend quite a bit of time with you guys. And
as a club support manager, I think I see you probably more than anybody else. So it is good that, and being part of the media team, we get to catch up with a lot of the other staff members around the country, like Andrew Howie and all of those people. It's
just a really great company to be working with. Like, it's not just our high performance team that's a family; it's the whole sport, the whole package.
Yeah, and of course, getting to being at these events, you get to know a lot of the Jackaroos as well, which is we're very lucky.
Here we go. Just misses.
So
should see another score here to the Broadbeach New Zealand combination.
And they keep the match alive.
They do.
Of course, you've got to be within 6 within the final end to
ensure. Is a good shot. and made it count. Great stuff.
So 17-7, 2 ends to play. They need a 4 to ensure this goes to the last end. Of course, we'll play it, but it'll be to no avail if they don't win the end.
100%. So your maths aren't that bad.
No. Basic maths. If you start asking me to divide fractions, then do those matrices, whatever they are.
Well, I can't even do the basic math anymore. I don't know the formula from the plus to the minus to the times. And
I had a calculator in year 12. I can't remember where it is, but it's one of those that, you had a stylus, touchscreen and everything, and you could do matrices, you could do anything on this calculator. It was wonderful. You could even download Super Mario Brothers, I think, to it.
Well, I'm that old that when I went to school, the only calculator we had was an abacus.
I've seen those. And we had the dreaded protractor.
It was a bit scary when I went to school. If you were played up in class, they'd just turn around and throw the duster at you.
It's changed a lot now, that's for sure.
I think my granddaughter had to take a tablet to preschool. I mean,
Yep.
What the?
Yep.
If I ever have any trouble with my Excel spreadsheets, I just go straight to my 8-year-old granddaughter.
Yep. Fix it up. Yeah, Excel not my strong suit at all. Year 9 IT, they tried to teach us, and I just could not get the concept.
Well, now I've got to learn BowlsLink. Oof.
You knew it anyway, Hollywood.
No, we haven't had it before. We're only just getting it now, which is fantastic.
It is.
Brings us into line with the rest of the country.
Yep, unified BowlsLink. Aaron Delaporte and Jess Alvaro have done a mountain of work, and well done to Bowls Queensland as well. Brett Wilkie and Brian Marshall. And Michael Hollywood Sorensen.
Took a lot of work.
And David Barnes.
Barnesy, and before that, Wade. But it is good to be part of the whole thing now, so it's going to one source.
It's awesome. And, of course, the participation team at BA led by Chris Evans. He's done a mountain of work since coming in about 10 months ago.
He has been flat out.
Yep, after Chris Wallace left. We do miss Wally as well. What a great human being. Of course, you know him on Rinkside Live, Chris Wallace.
Has Chris got any chance of coming up for the Open this year?
Don't think he is, Wally. Hopefully, he is watching on. G'day to everybody at the BA office if you are watching. Hopefully, we did get a new TV installed in the office for these purposes, so you could watch Rinkside. And it is Tuesday, so people should be there.
All wishing they were here.
Oh, yeah. It's Dawn and Jamie Lee holding a 3.
Dawn looking to drive this nail right in.
Well, speaking of school, Hollywood, I heard that the teachers had to put their hand up when they wanted to speak to Dawn. That's how impressive she is.
Playing with a great deal of confidence, Dawn.
Principal gave up their office to Dawn Hayman.
Have a look at this. That's a nice shot. Whether it's made it to shot or not, I'm not sure.
It's close, but it won't be enough. I think Jamie Lee's calling one down, but one down doesn't matter because that'll mean that they still win this match.
Dawny, how's your weight?
Fiancé Tom, we can hear him saying brilliant, and that's exactly what it was.
Magic. You wouldn't want to play cards against her, would you?
No.
Doesn't give anything away.
Not at all. Well, I wouldn't want to play cards against anybody. I'm a terrible poker player. But you give me Scopper, the Italian card game, poof, I'll destroy you.
Okay, I'll have to Google that one.
It's good fun.
There is a small opportunity here for Bronwyn if she can trail this kitty through with a couple of feet, and she's played that very well. There we go. 1 down to 3 up, possibly 4 up. That's a very good conversion shot. This could keep the match alive. Oh, Dawn's on a very good line again. How's the speed?
Dawn Hayman. That will... Oh, she might have just done it. If Jamie Lee grabs the mat, it's 1.
Twice. 4 down, draws the shot.
Oof, insane. So, that is a 1. And that means the results is a foregone conclusion. Michael Sorensen. As we head into the final end, Dawn and Jamie Lee, they can't lose it. They lead by 11.
Now they're just playing for some bonus shots.
Yep.
Or in the case of the Broadbeach New Zealand pair, looking to cut back that margin just in case there is a hiccup.
Yep. But what I've been impressed with is that every head has been mightily close. There's been one score of more than 2, and that was a 3 to Dawn and Jamie Lee on end 7. But other than that, we've only had 1s and 2s, and in a format where you can get a 6.
They've fought it out. They've competed on every end. Just as we said earlier in the match, the consistency of these two girls is...
So,
and again, another front toucher.
Bronwyn and Ange, if they can just get a couple of shots here, just to minimise the damage, and then go into their next 2 matches with, you know, still the opportunity of getting through. The problem is when you draw a couple of jackaroos in your section, it makes it hard with next bests. But if they can get a couple of big wins in their next 2 matches, they are every chance.
Well, they are an accomplished pair themselves in their own right, so there's nothing to say they can't come out in the next match and just wipe their opponents off the green as well. So,
but you don't want to be playing with minus 11.
That does make it very difficult.
You can play with something maybe like a -7, and that's okay.
Well, in that last singles section yesterday, we had a +5 going into the last round, and there was only 8 shots from the leader of the section to the 4th place part of the section going into the last round, with every single one of them an opportunity to qualify into the knockout stages.
Peter Lucat, eventually the man that got through.
This looks like it's on a good line. Getting down nicely. Gave the ball a chance. Again, only day 4.
Feels like we've been here for longer. Well and truly engrossed in this tournament now as Jamie Lee puts one behind. Nice little cover. They don't want to lose shots either. They know how important they are to Dawn and Jamie Lee Worsnop. What I love in the pairs is that a lot of the pairs, even though they might be sponsored by different people, or they might use different equipment, a lot of them will aim to get the same clothes.
Yes.
So that they can wear them as a team, which I absolutely love.
Gives you that team bonding type of thing.
Like Dawn and Jamie Lee, pink and black. Ange and Bronwyn, both wearing the Broadbeach kit.
You see it more in the ladies' side of the draw, but they like to have their little bit of fashion.
But I like that. I think
it's fantastic.
Yeah,
yes.
I think a lot of people can learn from it. Do the same. You can go to the Broadbeach marquee in the car park, and pick out whatever the hell you want. There's so much in there. Really had my eyes on one of those long sleeve quarter zips that they have.
Yeah, you were talking about that one yesterday.
Yeah, went and had a look and inquired about the price. So I might have to head in there and grab one.
Yes, we've come a long way with our uniforms and strips with lawn bowls. It's you can wear it 2 bowls and then you can wear it out to dinner that night and people wouldn't even know that you're a lawn bowler these days.
Ooh, we're very close. It's funny now I would, because I can spot that an MP logo anywhere. That A.
It's very distinctive, isn't it?
Yep. See it out and about a couple of times and I'm like, I know exactly where you've been.
Get pulled up quite often when I do happen to go out and I'm still wearing my bowls attire. Oh, so what club do you play for? Dawn adds another one.
Jim Zrilich saying otherwise at Dawn at St. John's and Jamie Lee at Cabramatta. So it makes sense to have a unified uniform. Of course it does, but still some people wear their club colours and still means they're on the same team, but it's good to see that similar colours.
Bronwyn's attacking again. It's not going to hold up again.
Very close. So one more each. Dawn sends her final bowl down. They will win. Just a matter of by how much. Holding a couple here. I reckon that's a 3. Could it be a 4th?
Well, I'm not sure if that front bowl's even out of it. I think so. It might be just out, yeah.
Yeah, those 3. Probably in the count. The 4th one, not sure, but this is a big bowl because they don't want to be minus 14.
And she's had 2 cracks at it, so
yep.
I can't see that she'll change. I think she'll have another go, but she may even try and play a little firmer this time.
So, Bronwyn Stevens, last bowl of the match, well within the time limit.
She's going to be just under again.
Yep, just underneath. I think that'll be 3 to Dawn and Jamie Lee.
It's at least 3.
Could be 4. Might have been a 4th.
I think it might have been 4.
Just see if I can see a little hand signal here from Jamie Lee Worsnop. Missed it, but I think it was a 4. 22-7. Not the way that the match wanted to be finished there for Ange and Bronwyn, but Dawn Hayman and Jamie Lee Worsnop kick off their 2024 Australian Open campaign in any format in wonderful style. Absolutely sensational. Confirmed by Jamie Lee that it was a 4. They should be very, very pleased with how they played. And what a way to finish by the biggest collect of the match. They win at 22-7, Michael Hollywood Sorensen. And we'll be back in just on 45 minutes time for the next session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And looking forward to the next game.
Very much looking forward to that as well. Can't wait for another big session at the 2024 Australian Open. Val Febo and Michael Hollywood Sorensen bidding you farewell for about 45 minutes. Of course, the AO proudly presented by the Queensland Government through Tourism and Events Queensland as well as Experience Gold Coast. So big thank you to them, Dawn Hayman and Jamie Lee Worsnop, kicking off their AO campaign in perfect style.
Aero, used by world champions Kelvin Kirko, Corey Wedlock, Aaron Tees and Aaron Sheriff. Swirl, Aero's new colourway, easy on the eye and in over 65 colours. Aero's enhanced grip allows you to go up 1 to 2 sizes, shaped to give maximum comfort and control. Made in Australia, machined with robotics for unparalleled accuracy. Aero provide the most accurate of bowls. Aero, same line every time.